Do you feel like who's more judgmental towards you? Is it just, the mainstream American media, or do you think that black people are hard on you? I mean, be honest.
You want truth?
Of course I want the truth, because this will be.
I've never
it'll
done
be repotted. It'll be people gonna go through it. They're gonna try to pick it up
as well. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, who do you think has been the hardest on you?
I would say hands down and by far, the Black American media and bloggers and press have been the most difficult challenge that we've had as a couple.
Right.
I haven't taken a poll, however. I haven't checked all of it. But if you just go off the top of your head and you look at the bloggers, which is what inspired the Huffington Post piece,
right,
was about how my own sisters were like worse than any other country. I mean, Usher and I have traveled all over the world. And, when we got to Paris, we were greeted with love and open arms. When we got to other countries, Japan, we've been everywhere. And we never heard half of what you'll see or read here. And if you do see it there, it's because they're copying, something that they read here.
Right.
So they kind of took on that sentiment just kind of as a follow the leader thing. It was like a trickle down effect. And it's sad because a lot of what is written and what is read is so wrong. Like it's hilarious. There might be 5% truth in the whole article, and the truth might be the spellings of our names.
Right.
They'll be so far-fetched that we're like, where did they get that from? It's hilarious.
What's the biggest, like you say, okay, if it was one thing that you were like, okay, now it's gone too far, that you actually read? Because it seems like to me, I always tell people to listen to the radio and not at the radio, because I will say something and that person is putting their kids in the car or they're doing something else, and they'll just hear that person's name and they'll be like, man, Ryan's going in on you, and they don't even hear what it is.
Yes.
And by the time 4 or 5, somebody calls and say, man, my phone blowing up, and I'm like, you don't even understand. First thing I say is, were you listening to the radio or did somebody call you? Oh, I wasn't listening. All my friends just called me. What was one of the things that you said, okay, now it's going too far?
The only thing that has bothered me, and listen, anyone's opinions on my personal appearance, fine. Everybody's entitled. Fine, beautiful. I don't have to look like you think I should look, or I don't have to be the cookie cutter of what they thought my husband should have married. Beautiful. That's opinion.
Because people want to automatically say, why would he marry Tameka when he was dating Chili? I mean,
that's the number one
did
question.
that piss you off?
No, because he married me, and I don't care who he's dated.
Okay.
He's put a ring on one finger. Okay, on one. He's dated many, many people, and I don't like the misconception that I'm the reason. I hate that they make the comparison. I have nothing to do with why they're not together. I won't speak on why they're not together. I have my opinion on that as well, but I won't share it. However, he made a choice to marry who he wanted. There was no gun. He didn't get married at gunpoint.
Right.
Okay. The one thing back to your question, the one thing that I think bothered me the most was things in reference to my sons. I basically met him, fell in love, and just ran off and left my kids somewhere. That's just not an option. There's no man on this planet, unless Jesus himself, came and stepped down and could prove that he was Jesus. I can't imagine anything that would make me turn my back on any of my children. They're first and foremost in my life. They're everything. So people not knowing the situation and just automatically saying, well, she left her husband and left her kids for him.
Right. None
of that is what happened at all. None of that's just ridiculous. And that's an assumption without knowing the history,
So when you say, it's supposed to be a fairy tale romance of how it happened, but the world doesn't know that.
They don't know it.
How did it happen?
I think that would be divulging memories.
I didn't go, I'm going to the beginning, though,
no,
Tameka. I'm not going to the end.
Well, we
are you guys still married?
Yes, we are still married.
Because yesterday.
I know, but that's a rumor.
The incomplete and the whatever, the dissolved and all that kind of stuff. Because, it seems like the only people that make money in a legal proceeding are the lawyers.
Yeah.
Because everybody else has to try to deflect this side and deflect that side, and now you got the TMZs and all that kind of stuff. So does it feel like you can't even resolve whatever it is because there's always somebody trying to say whether y'all are divorced or not divorced?
I will just say that it's a very pressure-filled situation, and I can imagine more so for him than me.
Right.
I don't have to deal with it. I deal with children who could care less either way. They're babies. They just want to know, where did I hide the animal crackers? That's their main question daily. But
Right.
other than that, I can imagine for him, he's under extreme pressure. And I wish people would focus on his craft. And they always say stuff like, but you guys put it out there. No, we didn't. You can't say we put it out there when we decided to take a vacation and there was photographers in trees.
Right.
We can't cut down the tree and tell the media, don't follow us around. I mean, he's a high profile guy.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that we became a public item was because we went somewhere that we thought was going to be remote.
Right.
The pictures that surfaced of us, we were on a private beach, minding our business, laughing, taking in the weather. You know what I mean?
It was probably just a regular citizen who just happened to be there and just said.
No, we saw
You
them.
knew they were paparazzi there.
No, at the end,
Okay.
when we were going back to our car, we saw them scurrying out of the trees like squirrels.
Okay, right.
I'm like, so
Right.
it's kind of creepy, like actually watching them jump out of trees and run back to their cars and to follow us down the road. And we're like, should we get gas or?
Right. Because, that's the story today, that Michael Jackson's children were actually involved in an accident because the paparazzi they weren't hurt, but the car that was trailing them was rear-ended by somebody trying to take a picture.
This is why when people say, she's a terrible mother, you don't see her with her kids, because you're not going to see my kids. That means I'm doing a good job. I don't want you to see them. They're of school age. They, have peers and teachers, and teachers gossip and talk and ask questions. And I don't want my kids to be subjected, as much as we can kind of shield them from that. That is our goal, is to make sure. The babies are a little different because they'll grow up.
Right.
They'll metamorphosize into different, they'll look different than they do at 1 and 2 years old. But 10 and 8 and 19 and stuff like that.
Right.
That's something that we made a conscious choice on.
Okay. I want to, we got to take a look at traffic and then come back, because I want to tell people about the Sidebars Over Sidecars premiere event benefiting the Lost Ones Foundation that is going on Saturday at the W Hotel. We'll give you all the details on that. We have more with Tameka Raymond in just a second on the Ryan Cameron Show. We are back on the 4Play at 4. Tameka Raymond in the studio. Shout out to everybody listening around the world to the interview. We're talking about Sidebars Over Sidecars, benefiting the Lost Ones Foundation. It's going to happen at the W Hotel Saturday, October 24th, presented by founder Tameka Raymond, Hennessy Black, and Swanky Image Group. They will be doing this to proceeds to benefit young women between the ages of 12 and 19 who need assistance in providing positive alternatives to their lifestyle. When you decided to start this organization, was there like somebody that you met, or what was it that made you say, okay, I need to do this?
I was actually watching music videos. Okay, I'm joking. Joke. Okay. No, I just feel that there's a need. I feel that women are the leaders. I really do. I think ultimately that women are kind of we're the mothers of this country,
right.
Mothers of the world.
Right.
So, as a mother, I have all boys. And I look at the young girls today, and sometimes I'm like, who would my sons date? I wouldn't approve any of these people, in my mind. Now, I wouldn't be hard on the girls.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
Right.
No.
Okay, then when you say that, you said, who would my sons date as a mother?
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of speculation and rumors, the fact that Usher's mom never has liked you. Confirm or deny? Just because of what you just said.
I'm just talking about me and my son.
I'm asking you, did y'all get along?
I love her.
Okay.
So that's the answer.
Okay. You think she loved you?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But just so you know, I've never had a problem with her.
Right. No disagreements, no falling outs, words exchanged, nothing like that.
Yeah, my son got a haircut, and I didn't want him to get a haircut. Like small things, nothing substantial.
Okay.
No. The typical stuff, the same stuff I argue with my mother about.